Okay, today I'm going to be comparing two performances of Gethsemane. I can never say that. Gethsemane from Jesus Christ Superstar, one of my favorite musicals that I know very well. And I've watched it so many times and I've seen so many productions of it. And I know this song perfectly. I even performed this song when I was like 12 or something. My dad recorded me with his professional recording equipment and I sang this song myself. It's a hard one. Now, I'm going to go back and forth between John Farnham, 1992 Australian cast, and Tim Neely, who people always say is the best Jesus, besides maybe Ian Howell from Deep Purple. But he only has an audio recording. At least I haven't found one. So we're going to go back and forth between them on each part, and I'll tell you which one I liked better for each part. Rather than going through the whole one of one and then the other, I have to compare apples to apples. Okay? Let's see. All right.
Will no one stay awake with me? Peter, John, James. Will none of you wait with me? Peter, John, James.
Okay. Where does this one start?
Will no one stay awake with me? Peter, John, James. Will none of you wait with me? Peter, John, James.
Okay, of those two clips, I prefer Ted Neely. Why? Because it's more dramatic. I felt emotion. I felt so sad. I felt the character of Jesus's feeling of betrayal. In the voice, he just made it betrayal. And yes, John Farnham has a beautiful voice, and I liked it sounds like very pretty tone-wise, but it just didn't have the same emotional weight for me as that little section had. Now, he may prove me wrong, and he may technically be better vocally otherwise, but right now, the difference between the first one, when I was like, okay, technically good singing. The second one, I was like, oh my God. Like I was suddenly taken into the story.
I only want to say, if there is a way, take this cup away from me, for I don't want to taste its poison, feel it burn me. I have changed, I'm not as sure as when we started.
Okay, I liked that dramatically, but I think he was flat on one of the notes. I think he was flat right here.
Feel it burn me. I have changed.
That. That's flat. For I don't want to taste its poison. He's saying it flat. I don't want to, see? Taste its poison.
Feel it burn me. I have changed. I'm not as sure.
I like that, how he says that though.
As when we started.
How he does Sprechenspiele there to just kind of speak it. It's more dramatic. I wish the audio quality of this wasn't so bad. It's so fuzzy.
I only want to say,
it's so rich.
If there is a way, take this cup away from me, for I don't want to taste its poison, Feel it burn me, I have changed. I'm not as sure as when we started.
So I like when he put a little vocal fry right. Let me show you where. He put
I have changed.
Did Trey add a little vocal fry right there?
Feel it burn me,
I have changed. It's showing emotion.
Changed. I'm not as sure as when we started.
I'm not as sure as when we started.
Then I was inspired.
Let me turn this one up.
Now I'm sad and tired. Listen, surely I've exceeded expectations. All I've tried for 3 years seems like 30. Could you ask as much from any other man?
Okay, I like both of his high notes, but I think they're flat. Okay? I think he's under pitch. Look, this one is not as loud, so.
I've tried for 3 years. Surely I've exceeded.
Surely I've exceeded. What an interesting, like, surely I've exceeded. It's an interesting styling, if that is on purpose.
Expectations.
Interesting note. I've
Tried for 3 years. Seems like 30. Could you ask as much from any other man?
Okay, already he has a much poppier, lighter voice than Neely. Neely has a richer tone. Like, do you hear the thickness of the Neely versus his? Like Farnham has a very like lighter, delicate voice that's like very good for pop. But so far, Neely, it's like, this is Broadway. To me, it sounds like a Broadway voice and even has a lot of classical like leanings, which I think fits the role of Jesus.
Then I was inspired.
Look, he also decided to do then. Take a little more time. I was inspired.
Now I'm sad and tired. Listen, surely I've exceeded expectation. I've tried for 3 years. Seems like 30. Could you ask as much from any other man?
I just got chills listening to that. Like, this is different than the Broadway cast recording I had growing up. It's the same singer, but this is a unique performance live that I never saw. He's doing the improvisations different than the version I heard. So I'm like, oh my God, I've never heard this before. So every time I hear his little improvisations, I'm like, that was so good. All right. But like I said, his voice has a darker timbre than Farnham. Farnham has a lighter voice.
But I try to see the saga through and do the things you ask of me. Let them hate me, hit me, hurt me, nail me to their tree. Have to know, my Lord. Have to know, I'd have to know, my Lord. Have to see, I'd have to see, my Lord. Have to see, I'd have to see, my Lord. Why?
Did they cut a part?
But if I die, see the saga through and do the things you ask of me. Let them hate me, hit me, hurt me, nail me to the tree. I want to know, my God, want to know, my God, want to see, my God, want to see, my God, why I should die.
Okay. Different interpretations. Again, Ted Neely decided to do a why speaking. Sprachspieler right there. All right. Farnham.
I should die. Would I be more noticed than I ever was before? Would the things I've said and done matter anymore? I'd have to see my Lord. Have to see, I'd have to see my Lord. Have to know, I'd have to know my Lord. Have to know, I'd have to know my Lord. If I die, what will be my reward? If I die, what will be my reward? Have to know, I have to know my Lord. Have to know, I have to know my Lord.
We're stopping before the high note, and then we'll compare the high note to the high note.
Would I be more noticed than I ever was before? Would the things I've said and done matter anymore? I'd have to know my Lord. Have to know my Lord. Have to see my Lord. Have to see my Lord. If I die, what will be my reward? If I die, what will be my reward? Have to know my Lord. Have to know my Lord. Why should I die?
Okay. That's interesting interpretation. Hold on. Interesting interpretation. I like the intensity. It sounds like a rock. Why should I die? And he does the why. He does a little different. Okay.
Why should I die? Can you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Ted Neely's is better. I'm sorry. That's the most emotional scream of a human you can get in a Broadway play. Like, John Farnham's was nice. I thought it was pretty. I thought it was like unique because he did a slightly different way. He did 3 Ys instead of a big held Y, whale cry. But I'm sorry, I almost cried the last little clip I watched of Ted Neely. And I think that Farnham is disadvantaged in that they're making him hold a microphone. It's a concert version. He's not really in costume. They made it some weird 90s modern thing. I don't think he can hear the orchestra very well because he's been flat, in my opinion, a few times. But I don't blame him. I blame the setup. They're putting him on a moving stage. So I think a lot of stuff is working against Farnham because when you're holding a microphone, it just doesn't seem as authentic as when you have the wireless microphone because he can just act and use both his hands. Like, he's one hand down and they're making him move around. As you see, Jesus has just been kind of supplicated for a while here in this blocking. And now he's pointing out towards God.
You show me now. I would not be killed in vain. Show me just a little of your omnipresent reign. Show me there's a reason for you wanting me to die. You're far too keen on where and how, but you're not so hot on why.
I mean, he puts in so much grasp and like vocal fry into that. You hear so much anger and and roar compared to his really smooth voice he had at the beginning, which is so rich and almost classical sounding in a way. That was like harsh. So emotionally impactful. But like I said, John Farnham's recording one is quieter than that one, so the audio is not as good, so I can't hear as well. But then, like I said, I don't think he's set up well in this round concert version, and he has to hold a microphone, and maybe he can't hear the orchestra, and that's why he's sometimes flat.
Can you show me now that I would not be killed in vain?
This is good.
Show me just a little of your omnipresent grace. Show me there's a reason why you're wanting me to die. You fought so good on how and where, not so hot on why.
Okay, so in this small segment, I will give it to John Farnham because he's singing with perfect technique, but I still get a little bit of grit and the emotion is coming through that we need to have in that exact part. But technically, I think his singing is a little bit more challenging than what Neely did in just this specific section. So in this section, I'll say, okay, I'm impressed by Von Farnham in this particular clip. I just compared apples to apples.
All right! I'll die! Watch me die! See?
Okay, the backstage people watching him are just literally in awe of this performance that they're like, and these are the actors in the show. Like, you can see that they're like watching from the wings every night being like, I can't believe we're in the same show with this guy.
All right, I'll die! Just watch me die! All right, I'll die! Just watch me die! I'll die!
By the way, I think this part's really good for John Farnham too. It shows off his rock tenor, and he's very good at this. Like I said, he has a lighter quality voice overall compared to Ted Neely. So during the lower parts, I don't think his voice sounds as rich and full. But in this particular part, the way it's written, it really excels with his voice. I think he sounds really good here. I'd say it was a different interpretation, but both are good in different ways. So
See how I'll die.
also, the Neely version, the orchestra is different. It has like a full orchestra. And in Farnham's version, it looks like it's a reduced orchestra and they have more synthesizer and like electric guitar is more featured than in the other one. So I'm just more fond of the orchestration on the Neely version than I am on the Australian cast. Like, I think the orchestra is all in that little center area, and I just don't think it's as robust, and it's also very heavily on synthesizer. So I don't love that.
Then I was inspired. Now I'm sad and tired.
All right, falsetto there.
After all I've tried for 3 years, oh, it seems like 90. Why then am I scared to finish what I started? What you started. I didn't start it.
All right, comparing. backstage crew is crying. The breath even right there.
Then I was inspired.
He does it low, the richness.
Now I'm sad and tired. After all I've tried for 3 years, seems like 90. Why then am I scared to finish what I started? When you started, I didn't start it.
The acting there was just so good. And like every little emotional little and decision to speak some things instead of sing them. And he had that low part, you know. Then I was inspired. He went down then.
God, thy will is hard, but you hold every card.
Okay. Decoration.
I will drink your cup of poison, nail me to your cross, and break me, bleed me, beat me, kill me, take me now.
Flat. Now! I think his vibrato is so wide that it makes him sound flat. Now! Now! It should be a G. Let's just listen again.
Take me now.
He starts off slightly under pitch and then he's able to raise it up. Look.
Take me now.
Now! He almost is like on a slightly lower pitch. Now! It should be the center of the pitch. But if you have a really wide vibrato is a fluctuating pitch. Na. If you have a really na or very fast vibrato, it can make it sound out of tune. Na, na. See what I mean? But he gets on the pitch. It just starts out flat.
Before I change my mind.
Okay. I liked some of the stuff he did at the end.
To your cross and break me, bleed me, beat me, kill me. I will drink your cup of poison.
I like that. I think that's one of the best things he did today in his like improvisational artistic license. I like how he did that cup of poison. It had a lot of intensity to it, and it's a cool sounding like rock tenor vibe. I'm into it.
God.
But this one makes me cry the minute I start listening to it. I can't explain it. Like emotionally, like the minute I hear his voice, I get tears in my eyes.
My will is hard, but you hold every card. I will drink your cup of poison, nail me to your cross and break me, bleed me, beat me, kill me, take me now before I change my mind, before I change.
So John Farnham did a much fancier thing on Cup of Poison, which I recognize and compliment. But the connection that Ted Neely has to the character and to the audience is just something you can't, not everybody has that, okay? There's something that the minute I hear him and I'm back in his video, I just instantly have tears in my eyes. It's encompassing. I can't explain it. Like, yes, technically wise, for the most part, John Farnham's version is very good and his voice is very beautiful. He has a very beautiful voice, but it tends to be lighter and more poppy sounding, which is fine. A lot of people prefer that, like I said, but it doesn't have the same. I just don't feel connected. This character, Ted Neely, is 100%. He is Jesus in this moment. He is 100% committed. He is not thinking about what am I doing next? You don't think that he's like singing on stage. It's like he is Jesus. The difference is in John Farnham's performance, and maybe it's because they put him in a stage without a costume, in a theater in the round with a moving platform, with holding a microphone, so it's like a concert version. He doesn't get to be as immersed in the character. He doesn't have the full costume. It's not historical. And I think that was a disservice to him, honestly. So maybe there's a version of him doing a proper production, but it's, to me, it shows off some of John Farnham's voice that I didn't notice when I first listened to his Help. Okay. Like, I wasn't like, oh my God, look at that high note. Like in this one, I was like, oh wow, that was a good high note. Like, oh wow, that was a really good improvisation. That was a really good decoration. That was a good run. Like I heard a lot more in this than I did on that. And so I like recognize he has a very good voice. But for the role of Jesus, for which one makes me feel the intensity of Andrew Lloyd Webber's song as intended to show a man who's basically betrayed, who knows that he is going to die and that it's God's will in a way. So it's like, how could God do this to me? But also, how could my best friend do this to me? And it wasn't just his best friend, and it wasn't just Judas. It was everybody who denied him. And that's, to me, the saddest part isn't when Judas goes and like betrays him. It's when he's like, Peter, da 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 da, and then Peter denies knowing him, like he said you would, right? It's part of like that prophecy. That's it. Like this is, and like I just felt transformed when I listened to Ted Neely's, and I just didn't feel it when I watched John Farnham's. And yeah, you guys could say, oh, you're biased because that's the soundtrack you grew up with, but it's not the same recording that I had on the CD. This is a different performance. This is a 2006. I had a much earlier CD of Ted Neely. So it was not that. This is like an adapted. This is like an even better version than like an original Broadway cast one that I had. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. And you gotta really, like, if you're an Australian and you're like deeply like disappointed in that, you have to be honest with yourselves. Look, I criticize my own singing all the time. You have to. Everything I listen to, I try to be honest. And if like there's a rock band that I don't like, or there's a song I don't like, I don't lie. And I don't just go, oh my God, that's the most amazing thing I ever did. A lot of reactors do that because it makes them a lot of money. They listen to whatever song that some fan base is obsessed with, and then they pretend like, oh, wow, oh my God, that's amazing. I don't do that. If I find something truly amazing, I will tell you. And then if I find it like good to average to good to great, I'll tell you also. And if I don't care for something, I'll still be like, well, I understand why it's good. Or let's say it's a genre I don't like. I'll still be like, okay, that's a good blues song. I just don't like the blues, right? Like it doesn't personally do anything for me, right? So I try to stay very honest because that's just who I am. And so for me, it's not just an intellectual thing, like voice teacher hat, like, oh, which one has the better voice? It wasn't just that. It was like the way Ted Neely acted in the role, in addition to his vocal choices, that made it for me an ultimate performance. So again, I'm just glad. What I'm happy about this this comparison is I got to hear more of what John Farnham could do, and I'm very impressed by a lot of his choices. And I will say that I've heard a lot of recordings of Gethsemane by a lot of different singers, and I like some of John Farnham's choices for his improvisational touches that other singers haven't done, and I think they're very unique and very impressive. So I will definitely give him that. Like, I was like, oh, that's a very impressive riff, you know? But that's my assessment. That's literally my assessment. And I'm happy to compare more performances of anything to anything. I enjoy this so much. Like, to me, this is one of the funnest videos I've made in a long time because it's in my wheelhouse. I'm a musical theater person. I've been in dozens of musicals. I mostly teach musical theater singing to my clientele. I've been teaching singing for 15 years. I've auditioned for things hundreds of times. Yeah, I've been to hundreds of auditions. So I've had to like work on songs to such a degree where it's like so emotional. You only get 1 minute usually, or 16 bars or 32 bars to showcase what you can do. And you have to be so purposeful in your choices. And so this is what I do. And in terms of like acting, I've directed children's productions and teen productions of plays. So I've also had to be like, you have to do this, or you have to say it like this to connect with the character in that way. And that's why sometimes you speak something more, or sometimes you sing it more. Sometimes you step back and sing it softly. Like, there's all these little choices you make in musical theater that make a big difference in the storytelling. And so that's for me. But like I said, it's not an apples to apples comparison because Ted Neely's on Broadway in a full stage historical production in like ancient dress, right? And Farnham is in a theater in the round concert version, holding a microphone, wearing 90s clothes. And he doesn't get to really be Jesus. He's just singing Gethsemane in concert format. It's not the same thing. And it's just not. It's just not the same thing. I prefer, at least if you're going to do a concert version, put them in costumes. You know? You don't have to have all the choreography if you can't afford the dancers, whatever. Fine. Just put the characters in costumes. It's the least you can do. And honestly, they had wireless mics at the time. They had the stupid headset mic, the Madonna one. They could have put him in that so he could have had hands-free. I just think holding a microphone, they just did it at the Hollywood Bowl. Like, when I was watching clips from the Hollywood Bowl one with Cynthia Erivo as Jesus and Adam Lambert, who it was, played Judas. I watched a few clips of that, and they're like holding microphones, and I'm like, the Hollywood Bowl wanted to make it like a rock opera, like, let's hold microphones. They have wireless microphones. They have the best technology. I don't like it. I personally think it makes it feel like very like we're in a concert right now, you know, not that you are in the story of Jesus Christ Superstar, which is one of the most amazing musicals of all time. Like, it's so good. Like, everything about it, the music, the story, I love it. I know the whole musical. I really do. Okay. I will see you guys in a future reaction, but I'd love to do more Broadway stuff. I'd love to do more side-by-side reactions. It's so fun for me. So thank you so much. I think the reason I came up with this idea is people were commenting that I should check out his Gethsemane. I hope this was the right one. I chose the one with the most views. So I was like, this has to be the famous John Farnham Gethsemane. If it's wrong, I'll do it again, or I'll compare him to himself. Happy to. Okay. I will see you guys soon, but please subscribe and remember that, I'm pretty sure someone over on this side, I'm pretty sure Farnham. Why can't I spell today? John No? Must have been in my comments then. Yeah, it's the only Farnham I have in here. Anyway, I saw in comments that I should listen to this Gethsemane, so that's where I got it from. So anyway, thank you so much. And like I said, if you want to request a reaction, please don't just put it in a comment because I most likely won't see it. Please fill out my Linktree form, request form, so that it does go to this beautiful spreadsheet where you can even specify the link specifically in case I choose the wrong version. Like if you just comment it and don't give me a link. So I just need it on my spreadsheet because it's the only way that I keep track of all my requests in a proper way that's honors everybody, and I don't want to miss things in comments, okay? Because I do read them and I like them, but that doesn't mean that I copy and paste the suggestions and put them on a doc. It's like I just don't have time for that, unfortunately, because I'm churning videos all day. I don't have a team. I don't have a team to like deal with my comments right now in my admin work. So I do it all by myself. Maybe one day I'll give my kids jobs on this channel. Who knows? All right. It was lovely. I think John Farnham's very talented. I just don't think he's saying Jesus better. That's it. Okay. Bye.